Welcome to sunny Newcastle. The first question, as always, for you is a health check. Who's fit and who isn't fit?
That's a great question. I'm asking myself that every night at training. The last few weeks we've had 17, 18 available. It's no different today. So yeah, it's sort of, I'm getting used to it now, just having 18. We're looking forward to that point where it actually becomes a decision for me to who's in and who's out. But at the moment it's not that. But listen, we're positive. We went through a really tough run of games a few weeks back, and that left us really short of bodies. But since then, we've had a good result at Oldham. Should have won last week, really, but Sheffield just snuck a draw in the last sort of minute, and we're coming up here to win.
I suppose losing someone like Paul Sykes is a key player, but it's a chance for somebody else to show that they can fill in their boots.
Of course it is. That's how you've got to look at it. You can't dwell on who's not playing. That gets you absolutely nowhere. You know, we've got some starting players that we started this season with not involved, but rather than talking about them, that doesn't do you any favours whatsoever. So, today there's a chance for two younger lads. Liam Finn and Paul Sykes ain't going to go on forever, so we need to start looking at contingency plans. And why not look from internal first? So we've got two lads in there that are keen. They really want to give it a go at half-back, and we'll see how they go today.
And where do you see the problems coming from Newcastle?
Well, they're getting better as it goes along. They turned full-time about a month ago. You can start seeing that come to fruition a little bit now. Spent a hell of a lot of money, but I like the way they've done it. They haven't spent it on sort of mid-30 guys that are coming into the last 1 or 2 years of their career. There's a lot of lads that haven't reached their prime yet. And with that, you get ambition still, which the players have, and they really want to progress. They throw the ball about a lot, as you'd expect, with a team that plays on a pitch like this. But we've done all right away from home so far this year. Weirdly, our away record's better than our home record, so we're looking forward to it. Yes, we're down on bodies, yes, we're down on names and stuff, but I've got full belief in that 17 that are out there today.
Thanks, Lee. Let you go back to the warmth of the dressing room.
No worries, thank you.
In the pink today, and he is Mr. Jack Smith. And we've had a lot of fumbling today, I fancy, as the ball is picked up. That stand behind the post is deserted, but that's not surprising. That's out of bounds today. Two stands behind the sticks are. But quite a good sprinkling of support just in front of us up here in the main stand as Thunder tried to make a good advance with a really good win at York last week. They did beat Dewsbury in the very last match of last season in the Challenge Cup. They beat them by 38 points to 30. Well, let's hope for a bonanza of points again here today as they do move it from left to right. Promising incursion here as they move up the field. Dewsbury's defensive record not too bad, but they are the second lowest point scorers in the championship this season. Here will be the first testing kick of the afternoon, and it is a high one, and it will come out of the gloom, and it has to be taken. And it's a knock on by Kieran Gill. An uncomfortable start for him, Chris.
Well, especially from the kick-off, that took a while for Thunder to get their hands on the ball 2 metres off their own line to go virtually 2/3 of the length of the field and then get themselves a positive turnover is a great start for the home side.
So used to seeing Dewsbury in red, amber and black, of course, their traditional colours, but what a chance this is for Newcastle, and they'll move it very swiftly, and within 5 metres of the line is Kyle Trout, who's won his starting place in recent weeks, and there is a real opportunity for the Thunder to be on the board here, but surely he'll be held up over the line, and the referee will say held up, and they'll have to accept that. It's okay, it's wiped out, and a real chance, the long ball out into the corner, and the first try of the game, and it is scored here by Jack Johnson, and Newcastle Thunder roar into the lead under a thundery sky.
Good composure there. They've got themselves a repeat set. The referee, Mr. Smith, had wiped off the tackle count, so they knew that they had plenty of time on the line. As you can see here, as the play comes, right-hand side defence for Dewsbury tries to get themselves up quick to try and snuff out the play for Josh Woods. Sees the space over the top. Little floated pass out to Jack Johnson, who dots down over the whitewash.
He's in the seam of form at the moment. It's his 6th try. He got three very early season scores, but he did pick up a couple of tries against Oldham recently, against the Roughheads, and it will present a first kicking chance of the afternoon for Josh Woods, who has kicked 26 goals so far this season. He is the regular take-up. Rugby league fans are very good. They keep quiet when the kicker is poised, and we keep quiet just for a second. I always think it's a very difficult kick for a left footer coming out from that touchline, and it did prove too much for Woods, but a great start for Newcastle Thunder, Chris.
Well, the perfect start, really. They've got themselves a nice turnover, nice and easy. There's that little repeat set. Mr. Smith gives the tackle count a quick wipe. Early ball into Woods, sees the outside defence, push up, so it's a little floater pass out to the winger Johnson to start his account for the day.
Yeah, his eyes lit up there as soon as he saw the ball in Woods' hands. Woods missing his regular half-back partner Shorrocks. They grew up together playing in the Wigan Academy. But Shorrock's not available today, which is why the opportunities have fallen to Reece Dean, a 21-year-old, to come into the team. He's only tried this season in the loss against Bradford Bulls, who are rather enigmatic at the moment. But a lot of injuries around in the Betfred Championship right now, and COVID problems as well, of course. But thankfully we've got a game, and well, looks as though it's going to be a very good game as well for you here at Kingston Park. Very, very close, by the way, to Newcastle's famous airport. Now another kick through from Woods, and this might be troublesome as well for the fullback. Allows it to bounce. It wasn't easy at all for Fleming, the fullback. Dewsbury's form, as Lee Greenwood said, has been much better away from the Rams Stadium than it has in their own stadium. Here's a strong run from Aaron Hall, 28-year-old. Last tackle now, so there will be a kick coming up, and here is that kick. And it shouldn't be. Ooh, it bounces back, and it might well be a big problem. It is a big problem, and they're going to get a score here from that funny-shaped ball. And Dewsbury Rams are on the score sheet. Well, that was purely down to the bounce of the ball. Lovely kick hoisted, but the fullback going across to meet it there, young Donaghy, I don't think he misread it particularly. It was just the way the ball bounced back. And Dewsbury Rams said thank you very much, on their back level on the score sheet already in these first 5 minutes. Let's just have another look at this one. What a wicked bounce that is. Still, they had to capitalise, and capitalise they did over in that corner.
Yeah, one of those things, John, that you can't really do anything about, especially with the 3G or 4G style of pitch, this AstroTurf pitch. Alex Donaghy got himself in the right position because it was looking like it was going to be a deep kick, and it's just been absolutely wicked bounce. And then the second bounce as well, it's come back, it's been chased through. Yeah, look, it kicks as good as its chase, and the chase has been good. They've been able to capitalise on that opportunity and level the scores up.
But we did all say it was a funny shaped ball, and it was a quirky kick. If this one is converted, Dewsbury Rams will have the lead.
Successful conversion takes the scorelines for Newcastle Thunder 4, Dewsbury Rams 4.
Well, let's have another look at this one. The left winger is Lewis Carr. Kind of expected to get a score from there, but he rounds young Donaghy, and it's an uncomfortable start for Donaghy. He's a very young man coming out of the academy here, and you learn with every game. But the kick was successful, and Dewsbury Rams lead by 6 points to 4.
Just like I say, John, looking at the replay again, one of those things, you know, you could see all the rest of the players, the more senior players like Kieran Gill, getting in and around Alex Donaghy behind the post, patting him on the back, letting him know it's just one of those things, you know, let's wipe it off, we're back level, let's start the game again.
Well, it's been a lively old start, that's for sure. The lights are on here in Kingston Park. That is not surprising, as Dewsbury Rams take the game to the opposition again, and they're almost up to the halfway line. This time the switch is to the right. Attack continued through Dan Hawksworth, who's just come to the club from Keighley. Made his debut only last week. A very tall fella, a strong, robust type as well. Another clever kick through, and they might capitalise yet again here. Once again, it's that bounce of the ball, and Dewsbury really are benefiting from this ball right now. But on this occasion, the referee says there has been a forward pass. But Newcastle Thunder look very, very mystified at the back.
Well, Dewsbury have got the tails up, haven't they, from that first kick, and realising that with just a little bit of good execution on the ball, you're going to get that ball kicking back to you. That's what they've done. Good kick chase, put Thunder under pressure, and it's Thunder who've knocked on. So therefore, set restart for Dewsbury, 10-15 metres off the Thunder line.
It is another chance for the Rams. One disconcerting thing for them, I see Andy Gabriel is struggling out on the right-hand touchline. Out of your picture at the moment. He's hobbling. But we'll come to that later, because Dewsbury Rams are in position to set themselves up for a second try in these opening 10 minutes here at the Kingston Park Stadium. And that would be an early fillip for them, and they might well get that second score as well. I think they do. I think he's in here for another score for the Dewsbury Rams, and they are really, well, they're off the bus all right, and they are taking the game to the opposition. And the man who has managed to get that ball down is Michael Knowles, but it's been ruled out, and they have to come again here now. Well, they thought they'd got that second score. They might still, of course, but they are camped very close to the Thunder line. Well, Knowles will be disappointed. He picked up 2 scores last week. Oh, and that one has slipped out. The defence is all at sea here at the moment. Thunder really having to hold on, with Dewsbury carrying the attack to them. They are inches short of another score here. Can he get this one down? The referee will have another look here. No, for the second consecutive time, the referee says, come on, play on, but it's not a try. The man was held up over the line. But this is really positive from Rams, and they will come again and again. This time it's a kick through. I said Gabriel is struggling a bit on that right touchline, not as speedy as usual, and it's come to no harm.
Well, Thunder have weathered the storm there from the Rams. Rams had some really composed play, cleverly driven around the park by their halfbacks, and nearly got on the end of that kick. Thunder have got away with it a little bit, but they've got away with it because of their own goal line efforts.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, but it's brightening up as well. But it needs to brighten up for the Thunder, because they do trail at the minute by 6 points to 4. And the referee's whistle halts proceedings again. Of course, we don't have scrums these days. I'm still getting used to that we don't have a scrum down as we did throughout the history of this great game.
Yeah, one of those things that it's a necessity due to COVID-19, and one of those things just to keep the game going, but I'm sure Eamon O'Carroll's going to be in his dugout, pulling his hair out. That Thunder have managed to keep themselves, level in the game, and then as soon as they get some possession themselves, literally gift it back to Dewsbury.
Gabriel's trying to run his injury off on the right-hand side. I say right off, he's just moving up and down, trying to flex the muscles that are troubling him at the moment, and the ball will come his way now. Although it's got a long way to carry just yet, but he's a real try-poacher, Andy Gabriel, the former Keighley man, wearing number 2. He's at the bottom of your screen now, but this time they go to the left. They've got experience in the shape of Liam Finn to come on as well, of course, but these are good moments for the Dewsbury Rams. And an acting halfback will be Speakman, who's just returned to the game. He was unavailable for the early weeks of this season, but he's back and figuring prominently now. Last tackle here. Can Dewsbury force their way across the line? It looks like they might well be held up again, and this time Newcastle Thunder's defensive work pays off.
Sometimes supporters can get a bit frustrated when the players are held up in 5th and last, but from a coach's point of view, that's better than the last sort of turnover. They give Thunder a free 20 metres by the ball going dead. That there, they've had to hand over the ball a metre from the line so they can really jam in and get some good tough efforts in to their defence to try and hold Thunder back.
Seems ages since Thunder have been in the Dewsbury half, to be honest with you. Well, they might get there now. Ty is a key figure, of course, for Newcastle Thunder, the experienced 34-year-old Tongan international. This, though, is Woods. Little reverse ball from him. taken further by Ted Chaplow, the one of the twin brothers. The other one, Jay, is on the bench today. And Thunder are in the opposition half now. Woods will lift it high into the sky. And a better take this time. The man who is under it is Matty Fleming, the 25-year-old former St Helens and Lee Centurions player. Solid work for Dewsbury Rams. So both sides with a try to their names already. They both notched in the opening 5 minutes. The first one, a conventional one after a long throw from Woods, was snapped up welcomingly by the try scorer Jack Johnson, and then the Dewsbury Rams response. And they try to respond again here now. This big fella, keen for work, Dan Hawkes, he's 27 now, the former Sheffield Eagles, York and Hemel Stags player. Hemel Stags, of course, were in the Betford League a couple of years back. Well, kicking is going to be vital today, and this is another steepler, but well taken on this occasion. Very well taken by Alex Clegg. He got a couple of tries last week on his return to the side. Chris, I really was impressed early season by Kieran Gill when I saw him. I saw him get a couple of tries here, as you know, against Batley, and then the following week he got another couple down at London. He's been in hot form.
He has, he's been in real hot form, but he's not getting enough of the ball. And as you can see, here's another turnover from Thunder. It's one of those that they call coach killers, where, you know, when you're a coach, it just frustrates the life out of you to see that your own team's giving away easy possession. They've got to just get themselves complete and get themselves turned over on their terms and get themselves back into the arm wrestle, because at the minute it's all the Rams. Eamon
O'Carroll did say that Dewsbury are a big set, and they are. They're very big fellas in Knowles and Hawksworth in particular, and they're camping outside that 22-yard line again here now. Looking for a gap anywhere. And those posts look very welcoming at the moment. Can somebody get close enough to him to plant the ball over that white line? But a good response to the early concession of that try. That was a bit of a shaker for the Rams, but they're coming again here now. And they do look extremely dangerous and extremely positive when they get into these positions. With those big fellas I was talking about, eager to get in. It wasn't a bad ball at all there from Alex Smith, one of the newcomers to the lineup in recent weeks. He was held up. Others my profit. Another little dab through. Well covered. Well, they've only conceded the one try. It could have been 2 or 3.
Yes, one thing that has stood up for Thunder today so far has been their goal line defence, but I think, as you can see from Dewsbury with their half-backs, with Smith and Joe Martin, they're going to control. They're just going to turn the ball over on their terms. Thunder need to get back into the arm wrestle. Dewsbury need to keep doing exactly what they're doing and putting that pressure on Thunder in their own half.
Yeah, Joe Martin regularly, of course, plays at full-back. Certainly did, but he has played at Staniff Half in his Halifax days. He's playing today in that position because of the withdrawal of Paul Sykes through an ankle injury. I'm told he's not going to be out for very long, but Adam Ryder, bad news, is probably out for the entire season. Another former Keithley connection. Several Keithley connections in this game today. Anyway, we're nicely into the game now. The floodlights on in Kingston Park, and this is much better from Newcastle Thunder, and a good round of rich round of applause from just beneath us here in our stand position. Ted Chaplow, 25-year-old, on loan from Widnes. He's had several loan spells, another one to Bradford Bulls. Much better. Wood strikes for the breakthrough, an ankle tap away, and it was an absolutely vital ankle tap as well by Story. On the last tackle, Dewsbury Rams just managed to hold on, but that was a lot better.
It was a completed set, and they've turned the ball over on their terms. It's now Thunder's turn to try and tighten the screw a little bit against Dewsbury in their own 5-10 metres.
Important to get as far away from your own try line as possible with these 6 tackles here for Dewsbury Rams. 9th in the table. They've played 11 this season, won 4 of them, drawn 1 and lost 6, and by a very strange coincidence, Newcastle have exactly the same record. 1-4, lost 6 and 1 draw, which is a thriller here against Widnes, 30-30. Dewsbury had an 18-all draw last week themselves. if anything, I would say Dewsbury Rams have probably shaded it so far, but they want points on the board. It's all right being on top, but it's when you are on top that you want to be putting that score on the board. But they are in possession, and in good possession here as well, 30 metres out. It's often the same players who lead the way, and here's another strong run. This is why they do so much work in the gym, to withstand the challenges as James Thornton did there. He's come back after a loan spell at North Wales Crusaders to Dewsbury Rams. A turn away in the tackle there, but still are unable to find a way through this Thunder defence. But it is Dewsbury looking again, trying to get the ball out into the corner, and the referee, I don't think he's going to give the try. No. He's on the last tackle, never quite made it there. He looked dangerous once again, did Lewis Carr, in a good position. And now he looks as though he might have picked up a slight knock. You do need a bit of time to get over some of these tackles.
You know, the amount of impact that goes through these players' bodies, you know, in every set, and especially for the halfbacks as well. Dewsbury are doing a fantastic job in spotting Thunder's two halfbacks of Rhys Dean and Josh Wood. So, you know, these smaller lads who are out on the edges are having to do a load of work, because the big lads are trying to run over the playmakers.
My bones are shaking here. Now there might be a bit of open space down this left touchline if he can get beyond Gabriel. Well, Gabriel does his part in the tackling, aided and abetted there by Alex Smith. But Okumatai, he's a big, strong fella, and he was still looking out the corner of his eye for Woods to see where Woods was, but he's gone the other way this time. But this is much, much better from Thunder, and they've stolen another 5 or 6 yards there through the effort to full-back Donaghy. Donaghy had the difficult start with that funny bounce of the ball. Woods again, he'll chip it through towards the centre. There is a race on here. The referee's got to get out of the way, and an absolutely vital kick there. I thought the referee was going to give offside. He didn't do. But that was an absolutely essential piece of defence by Matty Fleming. Yeah,
he's, you know, that little sort of diagonal kick back round the back of the play the ball there for Josh Woods for his half-back partner, Rhys Dean. But Matthew Fleming's just had to really put himself into fifth gear. You watch the little left foot back behind the ruck. Rhys Dean's chasing after it's going towards the post. Fleming's just got to get himself there and managed to do it, but give the right-hand side chase from Thunder a bit of credit as well to follow the play through and get the repeat set.
That was a clever little kick from Woods, who has grown with this game. And he's grown since he came here, of course. A real opportunity for Josh Woods, the 23-year-old. I'm surprised he's only got the one try this year, which was in that recent win against Oldham. But he's a clever footballer. Can they find a clever try? That's what they need now to regain the lead, having had it in the first couple of minutes. And Newcastle Thunder, to the delight, I'm sure, of Eamon and Carlos, are now beginning to take the game to the Dewsbury Rams. The rain has been pelting down, but there is an opportunity here for Thunder to get themselves on the score sheet again. They're looking for one of those long looping passes, maybe from Woods, or maybe he can go it all by himself. It's a terrific effort, and last tackle held up right on the line. It'll be across to Woods. He tries to kid the defence, and it was anybody's ball. And no, not quite coming off just at this minute, but some very, very good and some very thoughtful football all round here from both sides.
Yeah, good pressure there from Thunder. It looked like they were going to sort of play it on the last there, but Josh Woods has managed to get away from off his toe. But give some credit here on this right-hand edge for Dewsbury in their defence. Both Gabriel and Dixon have not bit against that little kick that's gone through. They've managed to let it go dead and managed to get themselves a 20-metre restart.
20 metres is a long way, but they've just made about 15 of those there through Aaron Hall. Another of these tall forwards employed by Dewsbury Rams, a club with a great history. Remember winning the Yorkshire Cup a few years ago. Some viewers may remember the days when we had Yorkshire and Lancashire Cups. But again, it's an attractive attack here for Dewsbury Rams. They've only won one of the last 5 games in which they've played, but they've certainly looked capable of taking something away from here today so far, with another good move involving Fleming, the fullback, who has 4 tries so far this season. Wasn't in the team at the beginning, he certainly is now. former St Helens man. Now then, where's this one going to go? Another of those little kicks through from the full-back. It doesn't come off well. So the full-back, Joe Martin, is normally the full-back, playing in the halves today.
Replacement for Dewsbury Rams coming off Dan Holsworth, coming on his place, Tom Garrett.
Tom Garrett has just come on, and I was speaking to some Dewsbury faithful this morning. They reckon he's going to be a super player of the future. 25-year-old Garrett, who was a try scorer last week, the week before against Featherstone Rovers. Garrett having come on in place of Hawksworth, who's done his stint. He's got through his 20 minutes, which is about par for prop forwards. Now then, Thunder, what can you do this time? Well, this one is spiralling. It's taken though. Good positional play again from Fleming, who then runs cross-field, looks for support, not sure where to go. But full-back play is all about positional play, Chris.
If you can read the game and get yourself into the most optimal place, means you're going to get yourselves a better turnover. You're going to be on the front foot. Good set by Thunder there to finish off, but yeah, the turnover, a bit of pressure on every time to get the kick away and not quite turning the ball over how they'd like.
It's become a very even contest, actually. I don't think we're going to see as many points as we did when these two clashed in the Challenge Cup last year. But I'm sure we will see some more from here on in. It is still Newcastle Thunder 4, Dewsbury Rams 4. Dewsbury with the ball in hand and looking menacing here. Tyee with the tackle. And I don't think the referee likes it. It was a bit too high in the opinion of the referee from Akuma Tyee.
Well, it looks like Mr. Smith saying that there was no hands raised, it's all shoulder, which obviously is now, well, not now, but for a while it's been, against the rules, not a correct collision. You see here, ball comes out the back to Smith, and Smith's just hit one of those that if it goes against you, you're unhappy, but when you get it, you feel as if it should be one of those few and far betweens. But it's a penalty, and Michael Knowles has got a chance to get the Rams into the lead.
He has kicked one already. They decide to take the two, as they say in rugby league. The regular kicker, of course, is Paul Sykes, and he's out after that ankle injury he picked up last week. So Michael Knowles, who has kicked one goal this season at Swinton, is in line to kick his second of the day and give the Dewsbury Rams the lead for the first time in this match, which he successfully does. He hoists it between and over the crossbar, and we now have a new scoreline of Newcastle Thunder 4, Dewsbury Rams 6.
Successful penalty takes a score to Newcastle Thunder 4.
Discipline is still a massive part of this game.
Well, especially the fact that it's been so close for the last 10 minutes or so. I think you've seen from Dewsbury there saying, now if we get ourselves into the Thunder half, if we get a chance to get some points, whether it's 2 or 4, we're going to take them. But they're just going to try and get back to the way they've been in that last 10 minutes and turn over the ball in their terms and be a little bit more disciplined.
Oh, how uncomfortable is that, though? And that certainly will lift the spirit of the Newcastle Thunder players. Well, it's greasy, it's been raining, we've talked about the shape of this ball, and that was rather embarrassing for Dewsbury Rams.
Yeah, like I say, ball against the AstroTurf pitch, it's going to kick, it's going to be a problem for anybody. And yeah, he's tried his best, he's done everything he can, he's given a great effort, but unfortunately he hasn't been able to regather the ball, and now it's a drop out.
Yeah, that's a sensible option there. Take it with the boot to start with before you make inroads, as Jack Johnson does now. Signed pre-season from Widnes. A lot of connections with that sort of Widnes, Wigan, St Helens area on the field today. So Thunder did lead in the first couple of minutes. They have a chance to set an attack up here to get that lead back again. Just needs one good ball, and Tyee is looking for that one good ball now. He's sort of ambling through, but it's a brilliant response, and the score is there. Well, I was saying that Tyee is just looking for the perfect ball, and Conor Bailey, it is, was at the right shoulder, and Thunder have the lead back again.
Key thing there, John, was that plays beforehand with Akuma Tyee, he's been carrying the ball, he's been skittling players, causing real problems for the Dewsbury defence. This time when he's had the ball, Dewsbury have stood off him. You can see he's skipping along, nobody's really wanting to commit, and because of that, no eyes are on Conor Bailey, who hits a lovely little short line. Nice delivery from Akuma Tyee, and Bailey breezes through for Thunder's second score.
He's well known at Wakefield Trinity, of course, is Connor Bailey. He's on a season's loan here in the North East, and that's a very timely try as well, having just conceded that penalty kick. So Bailey's third try in the colours of Newcastle Thunder. He actually was a creator last week. He set up Clegg's second try in that win at York, but it's his name that's on the score sheet now. Let's see if the conversion is good. Should be simple for Woods. Thunder into double figures. And the complexion of the scoreline changes again. Here it is again. Look for time. He just waits his time. He's biding his moment. Look at that. He's out on a Sunday afternoon stroll in the park. Please, somebody come and help me out. And that's exactly what Connor Bailey did. Really just held up the defence. That replay showed you all of the defensive line for Dewsbury were all eyes turned in, looking at the Kumatai. Therefore, Connor Bailey hasn't been picked up. He's been able to hit that short line really well. Under 10, Ram 6. Well, it's another of those games you can't take your eyes off for a second. Oh, that looked as though it might have been much too high. And the referee agrees with me there. I don't think there's going to be any dispute at all about that one. It can happen, of course, you know, but that arm was much too high, and the referee very swiftly took it out on the offender.
Clever play by Evan Simons again. Gets the ball out to Clegg, who comes back under the ruck. And really, it's just a more of a grab, you know, it's he's grabbing at the tackle. It's not a swinging arm or anything like that. It's just unfortunate. But that there, that's
what drives the coach mad.
Unexcusable.
Yeah, that really does drive the coach mad. First of all, we have the indiscretion from Tom Garrett. He was the offender, conceded the penalty, but then wasted for that drop pass. But it's been an attractive half of rugby league football. As I said at the start, a momentous sporting day in this country. One of the most momentous any of us can remember. But we love our rugby league up here as much as we love our football. In some cases, even more. Substitution made here. Magrin's on. John Magrin, easily identifiable, the number 23 of Dewsbury Rams, former Bradford Bulls player. And Liam Finn. Thank you, Chris, for pointing that one out to me. Well, they might both be influential. Magrin's a strong player. I remember him at Bradford very well. Had a couple of spells there when the club was going into administration. And we always know what to expect from Liam Finn. He always takes the team forward at a good kick, and here he is now. And it is his pass, and that pass was to Martin. Martin looking for a score. He's only got one so far this season, which was in probably Dewsbury's best win of the season, which came at Widnes.
It was a fantastic performance by Dewsbury early on in the season. Just seeing there Liam Finn in his first set in at Acton halfback for the Rams, all he's going to do is just try and engage the markers, which will give loads more time and space for the forwards to get forward. Watch for him delivering little passes really late, tying up the markers and the air defenders to allow his team to get on the front foot.
Yeah, you spotted Finn, I spotted Magrin. We're a team, just like these two out on the field. So it is the team in, I suppose it's technically violet, is it, rather than purple, the Thunder kit?
You see, it's rhubarb and custard. It's rhubarb and custard, that's where it comes from. That's the tradition.
Well, you got me there with that one. From a man who should know. I suppose you eat peas pudding as well.
With stocky cakes as well.
I'm a Yorkshire pudding man. Here we go with another Woods kick. Fullback's in position, takes it. He's been in position every time so far. There's Matty Fleming. Scored 3 tries in the first 2 games of the season, but he's got none in the last 7, Fleming. Finn again. And I don't know if you'd spotted this one. Well, there's plenty going on out there. That's all I'll say for the minute. Let's have a look at Dewsbury again now, as they do make inroads through the middle, and they make it even more here. That was really almost high from Tyee as well, but as the referee decided, well, there's a potential injury here, and certainly would have been intentional. Tyee has just been penalised once for going in a little bit high, and he is the man in the rhubarb and custard who's involved again here now. But you can see Dewsbury's man is down and the physiotherapist on. It's a physical contact sport.
I think when he's gone to the collision, he's just he's either rolled his ankle or charged the lower leg somewhere. You can see here, really nice little hand, big hand up there on Risty, and as he just reaches forward, he's rolled his ankle. You can see he's yelping out the pain there. Such a shame for David Dixon. Let's hope that it's just a roll and he's able to get back on, because he's had a good first half an hour.
Yeah, former Keighley Cougars player David Dixon. The other thing that's happened this season, of course, and we have to beware of saying it, is it's not decided on a points basis. You know, you're looking to see a team win, you expect to see 2 points. But this season, it's all about percentages. So when you look at the league table, you might have a situation where one team has won 7 games, so you think 14 points. But no, it's not. It's based on percentage.
And you know, that's really strange for fans to get their heads around, because, you know, I like the fact that it's a simple thing. You win, you get your points, you don't. And that levels itself out in the league. I'm sure as the coaching staff, you know, both Lee Greenwood and Eamon O'Carroll will just be saying to their players, look, forget about everything else. Let's just go out and win. Let's make sure we defend. We do the things that we believe in right. Have high percentages. Turn the ball over on our terms. Let's do what needs to be done. And then everything else will work its way out.
Dixon's groggy, but okay. I remember Dixon of Dock Green. You're far too young for that. But this is David Dixon, a 24-year-old, and he's all right after that bone shaker. That's a clever little kick, and it might get another one though. Bravery as he falls on the ball, but it was a knock-on. And it has been a testing half for the Newcastle Thunder back line.
Well, both Dewsbury's halfbacks, both Alex Smith and Joe Martin, have been really astute with their kicking game, putting some real pressure on when they've been up, in yardage, getting a good kick chase. Some of these delicate little kicks that have been going through have been putting Thunder on the back foot and them on the front foot.
I think if Lee Greenwood will be disappointed about anything, it's the fact that the Rams have registered only 1 try despite a lot of possession in this area of the field the last quarter. That is Gabriel. We know he's very sharp off the mark. He won't get through by himself, but he will lay a platform here for Dewsbury Rams to potentially prosper. And it will be to Magrin. Held up in the clutches of 3. Trio of Thunder defenders there, but it's still a good position here for Dewsbury to exploit, and it will be Finn, and then it will be Martin. Surely no way through, but penalty given. He was a bit of obstruction.
Looks like he's given the penalty against Liam Finn here, and I think it's just as he's delivered the ball, he's just stood in the way. Critics a little prop there, a little position for Joe Martin to come back underneath. So yeah, coming around the back of Liam Finn. Clever play, but well spotted there by Mr.
The kick wasn't quite good enough, and it's a shame that's a knock-on, otherwise Johnson was on his way again. Good kick. I thought it was coming towards us to start with. I certainly wouldn't have fielded it.
I was well ready for it, and I'd stepped about 5 metres to the left.
You'd have taken me out, that's for sure. Must be getting close to half-time here, but not quite. Hope you're enjoying the coverage with us from the Newcastle Thunder Stadium, Kingston Park. Still just time to register again before the break. Then we'll show you the highlights of this first half again. The man doing the tackling this time. In there is Harrison. That was almost a hospital pass, not quite. Finn and Magrin again in unison. You can see why Dewsbury have struggled to score a lot of points this season though, because they have so much good play and then they're just not able to finish things off. Once again a knock-on. We've seen probably too many knock-ons.
Yeah, little mistakes, going to cost your team. I think for me, from a coaching point of view, what Liam Finn's doing is fantastic for his halfbacks. For Joe Martin, in that play. He's getting just a little bit out from dummy half, tying up the markers, tying up the A defender, which has then given Joe Martin loads of space to run a good 5-6 metres to engage with his defenders to then play out the back. Such a small thing, but you know, comes with bags of experience that Liam Finn's obviously got.
Another player missing for Thunder today is Bob Bezic. I'm so used to seeing him, of course. He's been a regular all season, but out of the side today. It gives others a chance to make their mark, obviously. Simons at acting half back now. And then Woods with a little reverse ball. Find another score before the break. They have 2 tries to their name already. Difficult one, nice take once again. He's been impeccable in taking those catches. 1 or 2 early uncomfortable moments for Matty Fleming, but he's really got his game together since then. And Andy Gabriel has been starved of action, is certainly okay again. He was really feeling, I think it was his shin or his knee earlier, but he seems all right now. And the Dewsbury certainly wouldn't want to lose him, their best finisher. Kieran Gill's not had a real running chance today. As I told you before, I saw him score 4 tries in 2 games, and given the chance, he's devastating.
Yeah, he hasn't had that much chance to get ball in hand. When he has, he's looked a threat, but I think that's a compliment to him as well. You know, a lot of the play's been snuffed out around him. Thunder's had a little bit more joy sort of coming through the middle, and some of the big players holding up. But yeah, we've got an arm wrestle here. It's a fantastic game coming up to the half-time hooker.
I could hear Donaghy's heart beating there because he had to pick up a horrible ball which was down the middle. You know, the marauding Rams were honing in on him. Anyway, he did his job, the young fullback who's come straight out of the development squad here at Newcastle. And there is Kieran Gill. So I've not seen a lot of him in the picture today, but he will do later, I'm pretty sure. Chance to break the line here. So this is why they do so much training. Whether it's 3 nights a week or whatever they can fit in, the games come thick and fast. Woods, well, he finally got that ball away, but once again pumped downfield, and this one does bounce handily for the fullback. And I think both sides will probably go into the dressing room shortly reasonably happy with what's gone on, unless the one side scores again now here just before the break. That was a car coming in field. Early try for Dewsbury Rams. Nothing since. Remember, they got that try in the first 5 minutes of the match. Both sides scoring. It was a terrific opening to the contest. Liam finished 37 years of age now. He was the one in your shot there. Then he brings in Tom Garrett. He's only 25, a mere stripling. I think the one thing that's stood out to me in this Betfred Championship has been the strength of Toulouse Olympic and Featherstone Rovers. Now they can't Dewsbury around to poach a try here just before the break. Not for the time being. But would you agree, Chris, Toulouse and Featherstone are probably in a different class?
They are two really strong sides, bags of experience. Featherstone have been really impressive 11 in a row. So anybody who's going to give either of those 2 sides a run for the money is going to have to beat the peak of the game. I think it's between them 2 for the league, but then let's see what can happen in and around them. People want to get into the playoff spots.
If there's a knock on. Yeah, it must seem very strange for Toulouse with so many clubs having cancelled their visits across the water, playing the odd game here in England. They've even had a couple of home games played at Swinton's ground. So Dewsbury still have this chance just before the break once again with Martin settling into his half-back role. He's so used to being at full-back. Now it is Finn. Clever kick from Finn, but I think it should be seen out safely. Basketball style like. It is punched behind by Woods, and we are creeping ever closer a hooter. And indeed, there is the hooter. That Newcastle Thunder, what I would call purple, what I'm told is genuinely rhubarb and custard. I was going to get very technical with violet until I was corrected. Dewsbury Rams are definitely in white and blue. They did have one try chalked off as well. It looked like Michael Knowles was in for a score, but then the referee called play back. And it was a lively enough first half, quite enjoyable, but as Chris Hood said, probably a level scoreline would have been better or more reflective of that opening 40. But it is 10-6 the home side lead at the moment, trying to build on that excellent victory over York last week. They've actually won 3 of their last 4, beating Swinton and Oldham as well as York City Knights. But it is Dewsbury in the possession now, and it's through the middle they concentrate this attack. Several replacements or substitutes are already on. This is one of them, John Magrin, who's been around the rugby league scene for a little while now. One appearance as an international for Malta, Magrin. Finn with the short ball here, and this with a little chip kick. Well, again, that could have gone anywhere, and the guy has to be careful not to be offside here. And the referee says the ball was knocked back.
Yes, seeing their first knock on from Dewsbury on the chase there, and first knock on by Dewsbury, and then knocked on by Thunder, so it's a turnover to Thunder.
Yeah, a man who knows the rules. Rules have always mystified a lot of people in this game.
It's how you play the rules. That's the key. That's the key.
He goes to sleep on the rule book. Some of us have other ways. Anyway, here they come now. Newcastle. This is good. This is very good. Get this one away, and there's a real chance here. It was strong from Matty Wright, the 30-year-old former Cronulla and Manly Sea Eagles player. Some players warming up on the far side. As I say, we've already had quite a few replacements. This one taken by Kyle Trout. I always think what a great name that is. Former Dewsbury player, of course, Kyle Trout. Let's see if they can capitalise this and get their 3rd try. They did score in the first 5 minutes of the first half, and here at Newcastle Thunder trying to add another try in the first 5 of the second half, and it surely will go left this time to Woods. Short feed from him, and that looks like a try to me. It was a good ball from Woods. The referee points the way to the try line, and Thunder are over for their 3rd score of the afternoon, and the man who is emerging with the ball is Tai.
Yeah, clever little footwork there. There's been a quick play of the ball, got the ball out to Josh Woods, who does a little double step, skips over, hangs over onto the outside. He's sort of B defender. If you watch your ball to Woods, little double skip, skips over to the outside to what is B defender. That gives the space to Akumatai, and with a bit of gap and with his power, you're not going to be able to stop him from 5 metres.
And if Woods can kick the goal, they get a very healthy lead of 16-6. It's 14-6 as it stands. It's a 6th try of the season for Akumatai. He's twice scored in consecutive matches this season, so he's always known the way to the line. And this one is definitely kickable for Woods. Not the easiest, but has he negotiated it successfully? No, he hasn't, so it remains Newcastle Thunder 14, Dewsbury Rams 6, but important points early in the second half for the home team.
Good start from Thunder, exactly what they want. Dewsbury will just try and, box it off, right? That's it, let's get ourselves back on the front foot. But really clever play by Josh Woods, just a little double skip, short little ball to Akumatai, who goes through the gap, and like I say, being able to stop him from there is a hard task for any defence.
Well, in the Betfred Championship, often we nominate a man of the match, and I would think that Josh Woods is definitely in the running at the moment because he's figured prominently in all the best moves. So play restarts from the Dewsbury boot of Will Oakes. That was a very good catch and a very good start as well for Dewsbury. They've really got a chance to capitalise from that, although the impetus is taken out just a little bit by the tackle. They really do need to get the next score, you feel, the West Yorkshire club. Otherwise they're going to be travelling home in a quiet coach.
They do, but that kick-off's going to get them on the front foot. Wonderful kick-off, great take from Garrett, and now they're on that front foot. Look for Liam Finn to be holding up the defence and give plenty of time to Smith and Martin in the in the half-back roles.
It was Finn, but ironically, his kick-back didn't work, and there's going to be a chase on here. I'd love to see him dribble all the way, wouldn't you? He does the right thing. That's an excellent piece of play from Rhys Dean, the man who's come into the side in place of Shorrocks, but the referee does say the ball was knocked forward in the end. But, well, it was looking good for a while. I didn't expect him to go all the way.
It was, but I think let's call it a fantastic bit of gamesmanship there by Matthew Fleming, because he chases the ball back. It's Rhys Dean who's kicking forward, managed to get his hands on the ball, but clever play, let's say. One for a bit of gamesmanship, gets his hands in there, and it basically makes the referee adjudicate, because he's not there and he's not able to see it, adjudicate that Dean's knocked the ball on.
Yeah, it might be described as gamemanship, but it's just part of the sport. It's a professional sport, is this one. There is Finn. The support arrives in the shape of Garrett, who's had some big minutes, I'm told, when he's come on for Dewsbury in his short stint with the club. Now it's Finn. All about the timing of the pass. He did bring Martin into the play as well. Martin and Finn, the new half-back combination at this moment. Gabriel wants some action, and Gabriel, don't let him have a chink of light, because he'll be through it in a flash. But it is Finn once more orchestrating which way to go. He may go all the way himself here. Can he get that now? Squirts the ball up into the air, and it is gratefully taken into the hands by Ted Chapelleau.
Yeah, Thunder will take that. I'm sure Liam Finn will be frustrated. He'll be frustrated not necessarily because he's lost the ball, it's because he's got out of acting half and he's had no options. They were trying to sort of correct the play as the ball's happening. So yeah, Liam Finn will be really frustrated that he didn't have any options there and had to take the ball himself.
Yeah, I think that is the most frustrating thing for Lee Greenwood, without question. Wow, what a sprint down the touchline here. This could be really spectacular. The ball is in, and Woods has to go the other way. He still can't make it, I don't think, or can he? He looked for support. Surely Thunder are going to get in here now. Now, the initial run was from Johnson. He went like a flyer down that touchline. He knew Woods would be there with him. Woods is involved again here now. Big chance here for Thunder, possibly to steal the contest. The ball is good, the dive is good, the referee is going to point for the score, and Newcastle Thunder are racing into a lead here because Alex Clegg has got the ball down over the line. That was spectacular.
All comes back from Akumatai realising that there was plenty of space for Jack Johnson out back here in the Thunder own half, and fires the ball out, gets Jack Johnson ploughing down the left-hand wing. He's got some support from Josh Woods. Quick play the ball, shift the player. That's it. Alex Dean gets the ball, flies it over there. Alex Clegg continues his try scoring from last week, steps underneath and gets the ball down.
Yeah, very much so. Alex Clegg with a couple of tries in that win at York last week. Another of the academy products here. And I really do think great credit to Newcastle Thunder for the number of lads who are coming through. You know, we're looking at Donegal today. We're looking at Noakes, who's on the bench. And we're looking at the man who's just put the ball down over the try line. Alex Clegg is another product. Yeah,
fantastic systems in place now here at Thunder. Big props to people like Michael Heap, to Jordan Robinson, you know, producing players who are good enough to be in the Super League Academy. You know, first time in forever. I believe that you know, Thunder have had an academy side in the top tier of the academy system. They've got scholarship, they've got academy, they've got themselves players who are now starting to come through and you know, play a part in the professional game.
Those words will be music to the ears of those just mentioned. Is this going to be music to the ears of Woods? Can he kick one from this side of the field? No, not quite. That's the closest he's come, though. He did have one simple conversion in the first half. But more importantly, it's now 18 points to 6, and Newcastle Thunder are threatening to win 4 out of 5.
Let's see there just on the replay. Rhys Dean looks as if he's actually shaping as if he's going to kick it, but realises he's got a good enough left to right hand pass, fires it over 3 players out to Alex Clegg, who steps off his right, back underneath. Good finish from the young lad.
Well, the number 5 of Dewsbury Rams with putting the ball down is Will Oakes, who's got a most unusual nickname. He's known as Sid the Sloth. I'm not sure he'd be too happy about that, but that's the one he's known as in the dressing room.
Sid the Sloth, that's a new one of me. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be one of his own choices. I think it's something that the lads have made him stick with.
Yeah, but they do laugh about it. It's in Wikipedia, believe it or not. It's a wicked scoreline, never mind Wikipedia, a wicked scoreline so far as Dewsbury concerned. They trail 18-6 here. And they've been nearly men this season. They've had some very close matches and some very narrow defeats. They don't want another one. on their journey to the northeast of England. Woods again prominent. Mentioned the floodlights are very much on here in Kingston Park. And a good job too. It's a bit of a grisly sort of an afternoon. Perfect for a cup final at Wembley. That's a clever kick. He has to bide his time, Fleming, on this occasion. Will fall into some very welcoming arms. It's a tough game, it's meant to be. It's a bruising encounter, and Dewsbury are finding inhospitable hosts at the moment, because Newcastle have run in 2 scores already in this second half and look very capable of more. I said a few minutes ago that Dewsbury Rams certainly needed the next score of the afternoon. That is ever more apt now. The one good thing is they do have the ball. Martin will get the ball through there. Well, that's a fortunate ricochet so far as Thunder are concerned, and it will be picked up by Evan Simons. It can be a game of luck.
Yeah, well, you know, you buy your own luck at times. Then there's Evan Simons and couldn't quite see the other player for Thunder who put some pressure on the kicker, and you know, fortune's favoured the brave in this situation. However, could have bounced another way and gives Dewsbury a repeat set. So yeah, they'll take that opportunity.
We all know points come in abundance in this game and often come in short spells as well, so it's possible that Newcastle Thunder could poach their 3rd try in the opening 10 minutes of this second half here if they get the break. And it's Woods again. I said he's a contender for man of the match, but on this occasion it goes to ground, and Dewsbury Rams can breathe a little more easily. Lee Greenwood certainly doesn't want to see his team in this position, as they are just 1 spot beneath Newcastle. He would have seen this as a real chance to move ahead of them in that league table. Their biggest win this season was by just 22 points to 14 at Widnes, and at the moment they've only got half a dozen points on the board, so they desperately need some quickly. They need to get into double figures to start with. Waiting at acting half-back here is Speakman. Loves his rugby league. Shame he couldn't play earlier in the season. It's been adjudicated as another knock-on, however. The offender this time is Garrett.
Yeah, just a little fumble there. It's been some good go forward there from Dewsbury, and yeah, just as he's gone onto the floor there, Garrett's just a little fumble, spotted by the touch judge and the match official, and for the match official's team, sorry. And yeah, turnover, one of those things again that's just going to frustrate the coaches.
Lewis Carr, who got that early score for Dewsbury Rams, is receiving treatment at the moment, which gives the water carriers an opportunity to get involved in the afternoon. And there are a couple of them on the pitch. All manner of people running on nowadays.
Oh well, that's it. You've got you got your doctors, you've got your physios, your water carriers. But especially with the nature of the game and some of the COVID regulations that's come in, and knowing that players haven't been able to train as much as they have in regular games and such like, there is a lot of focus on the welfare and the players being looked after.
Yes, especially the head injuries, and that is totally understandable. Anyway, Thunder have the ball in their possession again. Moving it right to the scorer of one of their tries, their second today, Connor Bailey. I said he's on a season's loan from Wakefield Trinity. He scored now against Widnes and Swinton and Dewsbury. He's involved again there now, and this is a promising run with Tai's been a real worker. I won't call him a workhorse. I always think that sounds a little bit detrimental almost, but he's had a very good game today. Akumatai, 34 years of age now, the former Huddersfield Giants man. But this looks another promising situation to exploit for the home side. Woods, all about the timing of the pass here. They're getting ever closer. They're creeping to within 5 or 10 yards of that Dewsbury try line. The referee's arm is raised, which signals this is the last tackle, so Woods will kick. Is there anybody in the rhubarb underneath it? No, there isn't. Well run out for Dewsbury by David Dixon, the 24-year-old former Keighley Cougars man, who's recovered from a knock in the first half. But I think if there's an area of the game that Dewsbury Rams need to look at, it is their finishing, because they've had some very good positions today. They've got a speed merchant out on the right in Andy Gabriel, but they've just not capitalised when they've had the chance.
Yeah, they've just they haven't been able to sort of capitalise on some of the positions they've had. But now, as you can see, moving forward, Fleming has got his hand on the front foot. They're starting to churn down, get better yards. They've just got to get themselves some good possession in the Thunder half, which they've now got.
Yeah, it was a good reverse ball from Finn. You expect him to be at the heart of the better movements. What a good rugby league player he's been over so many years, Liam Finn. He's got ball in hand now and he will kick. It comes out of it now, I'm happy to say, a nice blue sky. Magrin can't quite bring his man there to earth. Yes, Liam Finn, he's scored 141 tries and kicked over 1,000 goals in this sport of rugby league. He's looking to add to that today. I think the word there was that was high. Nobody very much liked that one. Michael Knowles involved, and the referee's arm and whistle went straight away.
Yeah, I think the referee said it was a high shot by Magrin, and it's let's see the replay here. Michael Knowles gets his out quick, but it's Magrin who's he's hit on the chest and it's slipped up. I think it's Michael Knowles who gets a bit of a shove, and he gets seen as the guilty culprit.
Well, there could have been a bit of confusion there with identity. Well, that one's nearly ours as well. The ball comes floating up to our commentary position here in the stands. Thankfully, somebody else caught it and nicely lobbed it back into play. So we're back on. There's never a long stoppage in rugby league, or very rarely, unless it is a serious injury, which is understandable. But still enough time left in this contest for Dewsbury Rams to pick up some points and a victory. I can't resist saying points, even when we know its percentages. You still equate it to 2 points. Jay Chapelhow has just come on, by the way, for the home side, taking the place of Nathan Wild, I think. Knocked back cleverly to Tyee again. He seems to have had ball in hand an awful lot today, and he's got it there again now. They have an appetite at the moment, Newcastle Thunder. Things seem to be improving here. There's no question about it. They seem to be a team on the way up, and they're looking for getting that scoreboard further up, as well as Bailey takes it in further. It'll be Matty Wright who picks up. He who floats it out now. There's a big opportunity here for Newcastle Thunder to put this game to bed. Another score and Dewsbury really would be in trouble at 22-6 down. It's 18-6 at the moment. Which way is this one going to go? Well, the referee's going to award a penalty, and that means Newcastle Thunder will have a real opportunity with the next set of 6 here to add to the tally of points they've already accumulated.
Yeah, clever play, just keeping the pressure on. Looks like Josh Woods is nominated to take the 2 points, so just quite willing to keep the scoreboard ticking over. They know they've got themselves at least 2 points difference over Dewsbury, and this is just to maintain the pressure.
Yeah, sensible decision. You often hear good aficionados of rugby league shouting, "Take the 2, take the 2." You've heard that one almost as often as "get them on side."
Forward and take the 2.
The best shout I ever heard was at Headingley at a Leeds game one afternoon, when the play was concentrated in a certain area of the pitch for a long time, and the spectators shouted, "Stop them playing in that part, get them to come from behind the post." You couldn't see a thing. Woods has kicked it. 2 more points, 2 valuable points. Both sides have managed to kick a penalty, but Thunder are into the 20s. 20 points it is. Only Woods' second successful kick of the afternoon though now, so he's up to 28 of those to go with his 1 try. That's around 60 points I make out. And the crowd are really enjoying it here before the evening's activities. They've enjoyed coming out. It's so lovely to hear some noise and to hear the spectators. A match is nothing without a crowd.
Oh, of course not. It's brilliant that the fans are slowly returning back to the game. You know, it's referred to many times as, you know, in football the 12th man, in rugby league the 14th man, and rugby union the 16th man. They really are that extra person, that extra player that can you know, make a difference for any side.
I've noticed you can even get a hot dog and a pint here today as well. Things are getting better. Woods once again. It might get out to that far side to Johnson, who was on the scoreboard in the first 2 minutes here today. And he had one tremendous run in this second half as well. Oh, it's come out to the tackle. Dewsbury could pay the penalty for this one. Not quite getting there all the way himself, Simons, but others might. Key moments for Dewsbury Rams these. If they concede again here now, you can think they'll be setting off home empty-handed. But Thunder are certainly in a great position. Oh, it's not the best, is it? Whistle's gone.
He's given a penalty, yeah, penalty just hands in the ruck, hands in the play of the ball. I think he's good against Liam Finn, so yeah, another set of 6 for Thunder here on the Dewsbury line.
Yeah, and they're not going to take 2 on this one. Play will resume from the toe end of Evan Simons, and it's a real chance this for Thunder to clinch proceedings. Dewsbury Rams having a tough time of it defensively in this second half, and we've not really seen them create any openings for themselves, so they're in front of their own sticks and worried, I'm sure. It's got to be a try, and he's back and he's on the strike sheet again. Is Kieran Gill. He returns to the starting lineup today. That will be his 10th try of this prolific season for Kieran Gill, and he was missing last week at York. He's not missing today.
Again, just keeping the pressure on the Dewsbury line, staying down here, cranking out the sets. Clever play there by nice shift of the play from Evan Simons out to Josh Wood. So we'll see it here. Fair ball comes, wide ball from Evan Simons. That's a double. It goes across 2 front players, both Connor Bailey and Kumatai into the hands of Kieran Gill with that typical sort of outward run, putting the pressure on and walking through the defensive line. Concerns for Dewsbury, they've got to just try and get themselves back into the game here and try and keep things as they are.
Yeah, it's running away from the Rams. But good to see Gill on a score sheet again. I'd say he's having a really prolific season. He got 8 tries in the first 7 matches, but his last one came in that defeat against Featherstone Rovers until today. He's only had a couple of simple kicks today. There's Woods, but not quite his day.
Tell you what, if you asked him to hit the uprights, he wouldn't be able to do it. It's one of those things where you just he's getting closer. Let's say, let's take the positives out the negatives. He's coming closer, but then that ball just ships across on the outside, goes across in front of Kumatai, who's been a real strike runner, holds up the defence, finds a space to Kieran Gill to run over.
Yeah, as you saw again there, the number 7 Josh Woods with the assist, as we would be calling it in another sport, as he was on the first try of the day. I think this is Magrin. There are 1 or 2 gaps here now, and there might be something for Dewsbury. This is a sparkling run, excellent play, really good running from Will Oakes. I think there have been performances in the pack from Bailey and from Tayu as well, though. They've led from the front. Oh, yeah. It's not their day at the moment.
Well, I thought it was going to be a penalty. Kyle Trout almost looked as if he gave himself up, thinking that it was. It looked at first view and that it was it maybe 2-on-1 steal, but no. Mr. Smith's give it that it was a knock on, lost the ball, and Thunder got the ball back into possession. Lee Greenwood's going to be so frustrated that they're just giving away cheap possession in the wrong places.
Yeah. I've just seen a little clip up on this big screen here in one of the corners of the stadium, which showed a referee with a ball in his hands, man in pink, passing it and showing it's a knock-on. Gone forward. So it looks like proving to be another very good afternoon for Newcastle Thunder. They're in probably their best form of the season right now. Continuity of selection often helps, of course. Oh, but not that, and there's a chance here for Dewsbury to get something if they can react promptly to that knock-on, where they were able to just pick the ball up, and they are going forward now in the shape of Garrett, who's been on for the whole of the second half, and probably the last 10 minutes of the first half as well. So, referee's whistle once again, penalty. So this really is that they have to score now.
Yes, they've now got themselves a clean set, 10 metres off the Thunder line. They've got to get themselves over the whitewash if they want to get themselves back into the game.
First man up is the one wearing one of the big numbers, Speakman, number 33. Scored last week at Sheffield. They need something from Finn, something special. Oh, it was intended for Gabriel, the flying merchant on the wing, and it went behind him.
One of those that you just take. Jack Johnson reads the play. He gets a little bit of a better flick on it. He actually flicks the ball up and can go the length of the field. So good play from Dewsbury. Found some shape. Nearly carved themselves an opening. But good scramble defence again from Thunder.
But because of the rules of the game now, it is Speakman once again for Dewsbury Rams. They've still got the opportunity. The game has definitely speeded up with the change in rules, and Speakman goes for the glory. Not there. Not far off, but not quite enough. That line is proving extremely elusive right now. So they ask the wingman, can he do it all by himself? It's finding a way through. Oh, he's done brilliantly. That is an excellent score for Dewsbury Rams. And look at the glee on the face of David Dixon there. Only his second try of the season, but what a good one.
Try of the game so far for me. He's got so much to do to David Dixon. Balls fired out to him, and he's got plenty of players to try and do something about. So he's got it there, kicks off his left, little bit. What a good handoff that is as well, and gets himself some space, skips across the line, and finds himself a space. And when he does, powers through off those legs and gets over the whitewash. Wonderful finish from the young lad.
That replay afforded me the opportunity of counting the number of players eluded. It was 6. Around half dozen tried to lay clutches on David Dixon there and failed. So you're absolutely right, Chris. That was a super individual score from David Dixon. His only previous try coming last week. Coming in the last win they had at Oldham. A glimmer of hope for the West Yorkshire club. And surely you would expect Michael Knowles to knock this one over, which would then halve the deficit and make it 24-12. Yep, that he does. The scoreboard's gone on the blink, by the way, here, along with a lot of other things, but it is 24-12, I assure you.
Yep. It's going to be interesting now. Let's see how things turn out, because Dewsbury are going to have their tails up, going to be saying, let's get ourselves into it. What's going to be the key thing for Thunder is that, you know, they're in this situation last week with York, and York come firing back, so, you know, can they keep the high levels that they've had? We've got ourselves a real exciting finish to the game.
Yeah, so looking at it from a game perspective, then it does give us a finish, obviously. Dewsbury get the next score. Home knees will be knocking a little bit. Not yet. They're still the favourites. Anakin, number 13, is on, as you see, for Dewsbury Rams. The 30-year-old who's born in Dewsbury. There are a couple of local products in the Dewsbury Rams side. It's always good when a local boy makes it through. One who used to be a ball boy in the days gone by, Magrin. He certainly carries the ball enthusiastically. The Maltese international, John Magrin. Well, this is better from Rams. They've suddenly come to life. They're perking up here. And this is Anakin. Get another one, and Lee Greenwood will start to believe, and this isn't easy either for the Thunder defence. The penalty is going to be awarded to Dewsbury Rams. The referee, Mr. Smith, sees, because he was in the air when he was tackled, he can't do that.
What he's actually given is, he said that there was just a clean challenge, but it's been knocked on by Thunder and then collected by Kieran Gill in front, who's offside. So that gives themselves another 6. This is going to be interesting. Dewsbury, real tails up, wonderful set of 6 there, fighting to get themselves back in the game. Can they get over the whitewash for a grandstand finish?
Finn with the initial ball. It's as though they're trying to urge the Dewsbury Rams supporters to lift them over that try line. There is Dewsbury support here, of course. Lovely to hear their support in the stadium in Newcastle, as they call it up here. That was Finn. And this might just be another score for them if he can get that ball down. I don't think he will. I think the referee will adjudicate here. He's held up over the line, he is, and it's no score. But it is Dewsbury suddenly taking the game to the opposition. They have hope.
Dewsbury have definitely got the tails up the scene. They've got a little bit more of a skip in their step compared to Thunder. Let's see if they can get over.
Finn, he's controlling things at the moment, dictating the game. It's another vital moment here with Knowles. Martin At acting half back. Oh, going the other way. I'm not sure he's gone back into the traffic there. I'm not sure that was a good ploy. Better off spreading the play. Very tight. Finn, will he hoist it? Yes, he will. The kick is outright. He'll be looking for Gabriel. Gabriel takes it, tries to chip it forward, tries to regather, can't do so. Ball knocked out into touch. But Dewsbury are really asking all the questions at the moment.
Yeah, they are. They've got loads of clever play there by Liam Finn just to get the play spread wide. And I keep saying it, but they're really excited now. They can see themselves getting back into the game and trying to just keep the pressure on, keep tightening the screw, seeing if the Thunder defence will crack.
Well, so if they can get up to the 20 points, that really will start the hearts flapping. Well, not exactly what was required.
Big raps there to Ted Chapelhow, who puts in the collision. Again, Lee Greenwood will be so frustrated because his team have been fantastic in this last 20 minutes. Looking over there, he's sort of shaking his head a little bit, not sure exactly how to take things. They've done really well, Dewsbury, to get themselves back in the game, but it's these little 1%ers, those little things that's just going to give the team, let Thunder off the hook.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what must drive a coach mad when his side is so much in the ascendancy and then make a basic error like that. Then afford Thunder the chance to run it out once again with a Kumatai. I think the other thing that is for certain is that if Newcastle Thunder get the next try of this match, it's all over bar the shouting. 24-12 they lead.
Yeah, we've got ourselves into an interesting period here. What's happened with Mr. Smith's just called time off.
Yeah, it's another injury.
Yeah, knock to the head for Anakin. So, yeah, precautions are first priority, of course. Dewsbury have just got to try and get, when they come off the field at the end of the game and have a chance to go through a review, they're going to, yes, of course, go through some of those mistakes. That's for another day. They've got themselves back into the game here, Dewsbury. All they've got to do is just keep these high percentages that they've had for long periods of this second half. Let the mistakes go, get back into the arm wrestle and keep the pressure on Thunder. Thunder have just got to get themselves over this halfway line and then start playing in the opposition half.
They do have the ball, so that's a good start for the Newcastle Thunder as they move just over halfway here, right in front of us on our platform position. A lovely view we have of the stadium, and I was hoping to say the sunshine this afternoon. It's been a damp Sunday, but not a damp squib of a game. 36 points registered in it so far. 2/3 of those points to the home team. Just want to put the seal on it now, really, if you are a home side follower. So Newcastle, of course, promoted last season back into the Championship. Hoisted high, taken, but his feet were on the ground, and therefore that was okay.
Yeah, perfectly fine, well timed by Alex Clegg. But you've got to give young lad Dixon some credit as well. You've got to hear the boots stomping closer and closer and putting the pressure on him, but he's still focused on the job and made sure that he collected the ball.
Rousing finishing prospect here at Kingston Park in the northeast of England, but Newcastle Thunder leading by 24 points to 12 against the Dewsbury Rams, unbeaten in their last 2 games since a crushing defeat at Featherstone. Some good games around the Betfred Championship today, and I do know that Batley are giving Toulouse Olympic quite a good game. But from what I've seen, Toulouse and Featherstone are certainly going to take some stopping at the head of the championship race. Into the final 10 minutes, as you can probably hear the announcer informing the crowd who are in the mood for a home win. They're having to do without 1 or 2 players themselves. I mentioned Bob Bezic, Jake Shorrock, Sam Wilde, another one who's unavailable to coach O'Carroll at the moment. But Eamon O'Carroll, as you were hearing beforehand, is very happy about the way things are progressing. He and Dennis Betts, of course, very much in charge here. Dennis Betts, the former Widnes and Great Britain star, Wigan. The players just coming together here. They were not all together happy about the tackle on Gabriel. He's come off worst a couple of times today.
Yeah, he has. There's been Thunder have really tried to crank up some of these collisions. There's claims in the tackle of your hand, that short break, that what's called a crusher tackle, which puts the pressure on the back of the head and the neck of the the player. Let's see the replay here. Play the ball comes out. As Garrett, he's been in the wars a few times so far. He slips and yeah, it's hard to pull yourself out of that. You know, when the player slips, you've got to just try and follow the tackle. And yeah, but it is a penalty. It is a penalty, but unfortunate. You know, if it goes against your team, you say it is one of those things. But you need to be a little bit more careful.
I think you're right. It is partly down to the surface that Andy Gabriel slipped a couple of times today, and I have to sort of reinforce the fact that before kick-off it was pelting down here, to use a local phrase. That means it was heavy torrential rain, and his shin came off worse twice when he slipped. But Knowles has the ball, and then it's flicked inside for Martin. Joe Martin, the 26-year-old former Halifax man, scored a couple of tries on his Halifax debut against Rochdale Hornets. Those were the days. Rochdale sadly not in the championship this season. They're figuring in the division below, along with the likes of Hunslet, Keithley, of course. Here is Martin once again, second time he's figured in this move, so that shows he's skipping around the line. And still the prospect is here for Dewsbury Rams. One more score, and believe you and me, they will be in the fight. But they've got to get that ball over the try line. They're all willing and they're all queuing up. They're all saying, give it to me, I might be the man. And, oh, it was short from Finn. There was certainly a knock on there. And once again, I have to say, this is where Dewsbury Rams are just letting themselves down.
Yeah, when it's come to that final, killer play, when it's become decisive, it just hasn't happened for them. Quick play the ball, play the ball for Anakin, sorry. It's out to Finn. And Finn's just, Michael Knowles hasn't got his eyes on the ball because of the pressure that's come from Bruce Dean. Liam Finn's too set on hitting his short lead instead of seeing what's out around the back and what other options there is. Again, time after time, too many times for Dewsbury. Be frustrating for their fans, for people watching on the Our League app. But of course, for League Greenwood, that they just haven't been able to get through it.
Yeah, it's easy for a commentator to be critical, but credit to the Newcastle defence as well. Now Gabriel does have it, and he is menacing once again. That ball went to ground, and it is a chance for Dewsbury Rams for this 6 to get something more on the board, as Finn is in the play. So is Garrett. One or two numbers almost obliterated, but I have, I think, for the umpteenth time today, got to within 5 yards of where they want to be. It's the last 5. It's getting that ball down over that white line. They've done it once in this half. Finn now, oh, it has gone back. That was okay, and this might still be a Dewsbury score. The ball is kicked to safety. That's as close as they've come since the last one, but Matty Fleming was in there hunting for the ball put out by the boot.
Bit of juggling there. Bit of juggling, as you can see. It sort of comes off the hands. Yeah, left, right, but it's play on. You know, the ball hasn't touched the floor, and Fleming's reacted most. Gets it on the toe. Alex Clegg's forced by the outside defence to make sure that he's clear. It's a repeat set. Dewsbury got to stay in these areas if they want to try and see if they can make Thunder crack.
They are the ones who have to score, Dewsbury Rams. If they concede again, it's all over. But they are on the attack, and they will have the ball here. And a big, big chance again with Martin first up. Martin looks and doesn't give. Falls to the tackle of Matty Wright. There is a big chance here for Dewsbury Rams. There have been a lot of sessions of play where they seem to have had the opportunity. They're hunting for a score, but it just won't come. Finn doesn't go for the kick this time. Again, they'll be looking to fire that long ball out to Gabriel if they get the chance, because they know he has the speed and he's got the willpower. And it's back again. Who's going to pick this one up? It's Thunder who do, and a knock on again. I think the conditions are playing a part at the moment.
Yeah, it is. It's when the ball's on the floor. It's obviously yes, you have drainage on 4G, 3G pitches, but it does hold a lot longer. You know, the sort of the dew on top of the pitch. Once the ball hits the deck, it's going to be interesting, and it has been on many occasions today.
Come on the round, shout their supporters, and they are coming on. They're within a yard, and look at this. It's a one-man band for the moment. We talked about one-man rugby in the old days. There's no way he's going to be able to get that ball down with the number of opposition shirts surrounding him. But Dewsbury, well, I think we got another injury. It looks like as though we might have, and hello, there's somebody said something or done something they don't like.
Yeah, it looks like it. It's right late on the tackle. I couldn't quite see unless I see the replay, but there's been a sort of very late collision coming in and sort of a whack in the back. If we see here, as he's held up, there comes Aaron Hall, so he's held up over the line, and if you have a look, just before he comes down, it's actually Evan Simons who's come right in the back, jarred the back, and it's not illegal because the tackle hasn't been made, but in the eyes of players and coaches, it's seen as a cheap hit. It's not nice to see, and of course his fellow teammates have stood up for him.
I think he always caught him in a very delicate region of the body. Anyway, Dewsbury will still believe. They have to believe that they can get at least one more score. And that then would set us up for a grandstand final 5 minutes. Once the referee has sorted things out, had a little chat with 1 or 2 and said, come on boys, behave yourselves. I'm in charge, as Mr. Smith is.
You can guarantee that both sets of players are in there. You can see Michael Knowles talking to Mr. Smith saying, come on, that's cheap, that's not what we're about. And for a fact the Thunder players are standing going, well, technically you've done nothing wrong, sir. So, he hasn't done anything wrong, but, going back to gamesmanship and things that you certainly don't want to see. But I'm glad that Aaron Hall's back on his feet and, we'll go play start.
Yeah, and it is still a chance, and it is still Liam Finn who takes the fight to the opposition. Yes, I look at Rugby League Express every week and the number of cases where, there has been trouble, but the disciplinary committee resolved no action to be taken because it's not done intentionally often. Can Dewsbury find one last score? I think they can. Oh, they can, but they can't because he flung the ball out there, did Knowles, and there was nobody on the end of it. Again, poor finishing. Yeah,
Michael Knowles knows that they're chasing the game and that he wants to just get a quick score to get the team back on. It's clever play, comes across, he's actually got away. Could he reach out? No. Lots of pressure again. Great goal line defence from Thunder, and yes, we continue on. Again, another head scratcher for Lee Greenwood and his team.
Newcastle Thunder, number 14, Evan Simons.
I don't think it's a bad choice. You might just have heard that Evan Simons has been named man of the match, but we'll concentrate on what's going on there. It's only happened in the last 2 or 3 minutes as this, and that's become because of that previous incident that everybody's a bit hot under the collar.
Yeah, it was always going to happen. Players trying to level things up. He had it actually the previous play. There was Martin, number 1. Martin was having a little bit with Evan Simons because of him putting in that late shot, and it's happened again. Teams leveling up. Plenty of chat there. Let's have a look at the replay. So, it's gone high. Players not happy, but it has slipped up off, and it's a bit of sort of 6 1/2 a dozen of the other.
It was Hall, wasn't it? And he was naturally aggrieved. He was hobbling a little bit as well. He's going to be sore on the bus going home to West Yorkshire tonight. I think I was about to tell you before that happened that Evan Simons has been named the man of the match here, the Betfred Championship man of the match. I wouldn't argue with that. I did mention earlier he had a big game in the back.
Yes, he's been clever in and around getting his forwards going forward, setting a good platform for his halfbacks to be able to play on the back of. I'm sure there's lots of the Dewsbury players and Dewsbury fans won't be happy because of that late challenge that went on Hall earlier on in the game. But looking at the sense of the game, it has been very good. But just gets out in the touch there, kick from Rhys Dean.
But it's beginning to look as though the points are staying here in the northeast, or the percentage improvement is staying here. That doesn't roll off the tongue, does it? But the thing is, can Thunder just cap the day with one last try? They have a penalty. Surely he's not going to take the 2, is he? He might do. The victory is theirs anyway, so we'd like to see them run it. I think the fans would like to see them run it as well. But I have a feeling he's going to take the 2.
I think so as well. Josh Woods has just given it the old, if you see, sort of pushed his hands to the floor. Let's just settle down. Does he just take the sting out of the game because there is going to be players who are trying to, but no, he's quite happy with it. He's going to play on. He wants to get that, because again, like you say, John, it's about percentages. It's how many points do you win by? It's percentages, not just getting the 2 points. Yeah,
I thought they were going to bring the tee out, but they're not doing so. So one last question I fancy here: can Newcastle Thunder seal the victory, which is surely theirs now? With Chapel Howe, he's over the try line, but he's not there. Good defence from Dewsbury Rams. The defences of both sides have been pretty good. I thought early on Newcastle Thunder's defence really was struggling, but they withheld most of what Dewsbury Rams had to offer in those stages. So close here. But once again, once they've sorted them all out, I'm sure that the referee is going to rule that he's not got the ball down. There's a mighty effort from Jay Chapelhow. I think the referee will be hoping there's going to be a hooter before too long. It's just getting a bit too heated. And there it is, you see, right on cue. So it's a home victory for Newcastle Thunder. They're